but I do feel like it's God's purpose for my life, because oftentimes we go through so many things and we ask ourselves, like, why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? And why is this happening for me? And it's so you could share your story of how you were able to overcome it and grow through the situation and share it with so many others to give them hope and vision and just be inspired that they too can overcome those things. So I'm excited and honored to share my story with you guys. I actually want to take you back just about a year before I got started in doing what I do now, which is working from home. And I'm so freaking passionate in what we do. I found myself, working at Bank of America. I was bulimic, I was anorexic, I was yo-yo dieting, doing all these crazy diets, eating fruits for a few days, and then, going from fruits to eating vegetables and then meats, all these crazy things because I was so obsessed with being skinny. And I was 90 pounds. You can see the bones coming out of my back. And I thought that, at that time, like all you saw was skinny, skinny, skinny. If you were a little bit thick, it was almost like not accepted, or you were fat, right? So I was obsessed with that. And then finally it came to a point where, like, you know what, like I need to be healthy. So I decided to do my own version of what I thought was going to be healthy eating, y'all. And that was going to the gym, right? 6 days a week. The gym is not a problem for me. I love the gym. I feel empowered when I go to the gym. I'm like strong when I go to the gym. But then right afterwards, I go to the bar and I would drink. And I would go and have chicken wings. And I thought, well, chicken's protein. So I'm getting my protein in. No, wrong, right? Chicken wings are not the source of protein that you want. Chicken is protein, but not chicken wings, right? Like that's not the healthiest version of chicken we can be getting. But that's all I knew. So until I started watching people on social media get amazing results, right? And I'm like, well, they're drinking shakes. So am I. I'm drinking shakes too. So I don't need to buy it. I don't need to do what they're doing. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. A year went by of me watching people, and I was in the same place. I ballooned up to 125 pounds, which may not seem like a lot to you, but y'all, I'm 4'10" and a half. Don't forget the half, okay? Because it counts. But that's a lot of weight on someone my size. So I'm like, you know what, man, what if I just give it a try? Like, what if I just commit to 30 days? I'm already buying proteins. I'm already buying all this kind of pre-workouts. I used to spend $300, $400, $500 easy on supplements every single month because I just so badly wanted to feel good and look good, right? So I said, let me switch my money from spending on these things. Instead, let me switch it to buying these Herbalife products I had seen people try, right? So that's what I did. And you guys, my first month on the program, I lost 18 pounds and 11% body fat, y'all. I was like excited. And here's the thing, it wasn't even the weight loss that made me excited. It was the fact that I had so much energy that made me excited. I had drank this tea and oh my God, I started cleaning the baseboards. I don't like to clean, okay? But this tea had me so turned and I was like, oh yeah, this is freaking awesome. Well, working at the bank, I had been there for 9 years, and you already know, you see somebody happy, like something's off, okay, in the corporate world. So the people started asking me like, Angelica, what are you doing? What are you taking? They didn't say, well, how did you lose the weight? They said, why are you so happy? How do you have so much energy? And I'm like, oh my God, you got to try this tea. You got to try these shakes. I feel freaking phenomenal. And so I just started, giving people my teas, just like we love and enjoy something like our pants, right? We wear a cute pair of pants from Fashion Nova, and everybody starts asking us, and we start referring everybody to Fashion Nova and start saying, oh my God, you got to buy these pants. I love them. I love Fashion Nova. And they go and buy them, but Fashion Nova doesn't give you kickback for that, right? They don't say, oh, here, because you sent so many people, you can earn X amount of money, right? No, they didn't say anything. They just keep collecting. Well, here, what I do, if I got to refer people into the products that I was using, I actually could profit of it. I didn't understand how it worked. I didn't know exactly what all that looked like. All I know is I started referring my friends and family, and I got a check in the mail for $37. And, I already had the mindset of, I wanted to work from home one day. I didn't have kids then, but I had a dream and a desire to be that present work from home mom. I love a challenge. I love going for goals. I love those things, but I wanted to have that time flexibility where I can drop my daughter off at work. When I was younger, my mom used to work 2 to 3 jobs at a time. She was never around, ever around. I don't even remember us having a close relationship. As a matter of fact, when I was younger, and I'm going to get a little bit deep with you guys, so because I don't know who's out there watching right now who maybe can relate to this, and I just, want you to see what's possible for you. But when I was younger, I was actually molested, and I was 12, I was raped by a family friend, and my mom and I didn't have a close relationship that I even felt like I could tell her. Like I never even felt protected from her. Right. And just so you know, like I don't blame her or anything. She was raised a certain way and she only knows what she knows, and now that I'm older and I've done a lot of work on myself and got to just do a lot of like mindset work, I understand, like it wasn't her fault. She was doing what she had to do, and that was to provide, to bring money into the house. But her not being there created us not having a relationship. So at 12, 13 years old, my mom said, "You're too much, Angelica. That's it. You're too much. I can't handle you, and I am." You see all this energy now, like, right? Imagine me being younger and I'm like, go, let's do this, type of thing. And she said, "You're too much." And so she sent me to go live with my grandfather. And I lived there in high school. And so, I knew deep down, I didn't know why at the time, but I knew deep down, like, man, I don't want that. When I have kids, like, I want to have such a close relationship with my daughter that if God forbid anything happens, like, I want her to be able to come to me and we're going to be like this. We're going to be BFFs. We're going to be best friends, right? Like, I know we're going to go through stuff later, but, I wanted that, because I didn't have that before. I made the decision that something was going to change in my future. And I had no idea it was going to be Herbalife and these products I started taking. So with the desire wanting to be a work from home mom one day, just having that vision, I said, you know what, like, what if I started sharing these products more intentionally with people? I had already seen people working from home, doing what I wanted to do, being present parents, but still building an income, still going after goals, getting recognized for things. I don't know about you, but when I remember working at corporate America at B of A, and yes, they said, okay, like, congratulations, you did a good job last quarter, but it wasn't like a big recognition that made me feel good. It filled my cup, and it was just producing money for the company. I wanted to make an impact in people's lives. And so I started attending these events. And when I started going, I started seeing, here's what I saw. I started seeing people living the life that I wanted to live. And I actually heard a story that touched my heart. And the story of the girl she shared was that, mind you guys, it was a Spanish event. Okay. I know, and Karla said Angelica, and I am Hispanic, right? My dad's from Mexico. All my dad's side speak Spanish, like they're from Mexico. I'm first generation born here, but I don't know Spanish. Okay, I'm a coconut, brown on the outside, white on the in. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I don't eat hot salsa, but I do eat all the stuff, right? But so I don't know Spanish. Okay, so I go to that event, but what I felt was the energy and the excitement. I'm like, man, I just want to be a part of this, because there was also that desire inside of me to stop drinking. Like all the trauma that I just told you about, I was drinking my life away every single weekend. Every weekend, I literally spend my paycheck by Saturday, because I just bought all the alcohol and I didn't realize what I was doing. And I was masking all my insecurities with the alcohol. I don't want to feel the pain, So I'm like, okay, so I go into this thing, I see all this energy. I'm like, man, and these people are sober. Wow. Like, I want to feel like that sober. I want to be as excited about life sober. So this girl on stage shared her story, and she had opened this little cafe and she was serving these shakes and these teas there. And she talked about how there was a customer that would come, and then she was handicapped. And her desire, like her dream, was to be able to finish a race, a 5K race. So they made that happen for her and they pushed her up the race across the finish line, and she got to finish it. And that touched my heart. I started crying in that event. And I'm like, I just want to make an impact in somebody's life the way that they did for that girl. And I just want to matter. And then also, like, I heard them building teams and, getting together and just being like united. And I'm like, I want that. Like, I want to be around community. I want to be around, I want to create my family. Like I told you guys, I was kicked out at 12, 13 years old. But what I didn't mention was I have 4 siblings and I didn't grow up with them. I didn't see them very often at all. And so I'm like, so to me, this meant, man, I can change somebody's life. I can make an impact. I can mean something. I can also do this from home one day, but I can also own a cafe if I wanted to. I so many things that I saw that, man, like, this is for me. Like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do forever. And I made that decision that, you know what, that's it. I'm going to go and I'm going to help people. And, as I went along, continuing going to events, I heard so many different stories. And what I also realized, and what really drove me in the beginning of my journey, other than wanting connection and family and all those things, like, remind you, I love going for goals. Like, I love a challenge. I love recognition. I love all those things, right? I love to be recognized for my hard work. But also was that I believe that if somebody would have gave my dad this opportunity, he'd still be here today. When he was 17 years old, coming from Mexico and coming over here, not knowing very much, not having a great education or anything, he worked multiple different jobs. And one of those jobs happened to be him selling drugs. And, eventually you are always going to be a product of the environment you're in. Even if you're not going in and you're not doing it, maybe he wasn't doing the drugs at first and you're just selling it. Eventually you're going to start using it because all the people you're around are using it, right? If you don't feel like drinking, you want to quit drinking alcohol, you can't go sit at a bar with people who are drinking, because eventually you're going to start drinking with them or they're going to peer pressure you into it. And so I just believe that if somebody would have gave this opportunity to my dad, maybe he wouldn't have sold drugs and he wouldn't have died when I was 17 years old, a senior in high school, on drugs and homeless. Like, so I believed it. Now, whether that story be true or not, it doesn't matter. That's the story that I created at that time and made me fired up to go and share this with absolutely every person out there. Because as people would walk by me and say, oh my God, what if that's my dad? Oh my God, what if that's my dad? And, I just so badly wanted to save him from the things that happened before. And I thought the way that I could do that and make a difference now and turn my pain from losing him into purpose was through sharing this opportunity with people, whether they needed to lose weight like I did, they needed to get healthier habits, or they just needed to be around a better community, or maybe they need an opportunity to make money. Like in this company, you literally get all of it here. And and so I was passionate about, trying to save my dad and do that. Right. So that got me excited. I started sharing people. And then as I started getting clients, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so fulfilling. Somebody's saying, thank you for helping me. Thank you for not giving up on me. I'm gonna cry. Thank you. Right. How many of you guys would like that for you right now? Someone to send you a message and say, thank you for not giving up on me. Man, that would just fill your cup. As human beings, we are put on this earth to help other people. That's why when we have kids, we're so fulfilled, because we want to be needed, because that means that if somebody needs us, we're out there helping and making a difference, whether it be with our kids or other friends and family. Right. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go all in. And so I started sharing with more and more people. I started sharing with my coworkers. A few months after getting started on the program, I was fired from my job at Bank of America that I had worked at for 9 years. I loved one of my bosses, not all of them. Okay. Just going to be honest with you. And I got fired from my job, and that made me realize, wow, after 9.5 years, I'm just a number to a company. I didn't make an impact. Nobody, messaged me afterwards saying like, oh my gosh, you've helped me, anything like that, right? I'm just a number. And after 9.5 years, I was fired making $36,000 a year. And let me just tell you something. I am the type of person that will go to one department to the next department to the next department, for one, to make more money because I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. But for two, I want to be challenged. I want to learn new things. I want to, I just want to learn new processes. I get excited through that, like if we're doing the same things every single day without being challenged, it can get repetitive. We could get bored. And, and I didn't want that. So after 9.5 years, that's what I was fired making. I'm grateful for the time that was there, but this was now time for me to take Herbalife on full time. And I've been doing that by plugging into events now and just learning and growing for all the people that came before me. And the beautiful thing about what we do is that you literally get to learn from other people. I'm on this call sharing my story with you. And already, if you're taking notes, you already have so many nuggets and things that you can apply if you're already in our business to the business, right? And even if you're not, just nuggets for you and things of how to handle things or how to see situations, right? So we get to learn from other people. And that's what really got me excited about this, you guys. And a few years into the company, I got pregnant, and now here was my opportunity to really be that mom. Oh, hold on. I remember getting pregnant too and thinking like, I pray it's not a girl. Like, I don't want a girl. I wanted to have a boy because I was so scared of having this relationship with my daughter and having it be the same that I have with my mom. And when I found out I was a girl, I was actually very angry. And then later I began to like really accept, okay, it's a girl. Okay, how can I make this relationship different? Just like I talked to you guys about. And I'm so proud to say that my daughter and I have a phenomenal relationship, like so good, but it took me being around other people who were growing in their mindset, and that I can learn from them, and I can ask them, like, what books are you reading? What are you learning right now? Like, and being around a growth environment. And I've been able to read certain books to help me be a better mom. And even just doing the business, joining in this business has created me to be a better parent, a better woman, a better friend, a better mentor, a better daughter. I'm proud to say that I do now, because of this company, have a good relationship with my mom. Not the best, right? But that's okay. Like, we have one now, and she sees my daughter now. You just learn so much about yourself, and how you can, and the people you're around are always talking about how you can get better, and the vision of the future, and what your life could look like, and where you can be, right? Like, so to me, that I love this company. I love what I do. I've been working from home now, doing the business on social media, sharing my journey with people, and all of it, right? Not even just the products, not just fitness and nutrition, but me as a mother, connecting with other people, and other women, other moms who have been through the same things that I went through growing up. I get to be hope, and I get to be vision for people, that you can overcome those things. And I love it. And I'm so grateful for the life that I get to live today, and be the work from home mom, because it truly was my dream. And now, moving forward, I am passionate about helping other women get to be that same work from home mom, because I do know that when you have more time with your kids, that relationship and that bond will be stronger. So that is my story. And, Karla mentioned earlier that I did achieve the top 1% of the company. And let me just tell you guys something. Like, I am a girl from the hood who was raised around drugs, my dad used to take me to drug parties. I didn't know it at the time, but now looking back, I'm like, that guy's name was Smokey. That was not a family party. Like, really, so, I was raised in that environment. I told you earlier, I was raped, I was molested. And as I got older, more and more things happened. And I used drugs. I was an addict at one point. I was in an outpatient rehab at one point. I found myself, living with friends' couches at one point. And in 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. I know she'll be here. That's my daughter. I've been through all those things. I got 2 DUIs in 2 weeks. I didn't think I was somebody that could be anything. I didn't ever see myself at that time being a part of the top 1% of the company, leading a call like I'm on today, training people, training 800, 900 people on calls, and sharing with them my success and what I've been doing. I never imagined myself doing those things until I started getting around people that were living and doing those things, that saw a bigger vision for me, that believed in me, and saw, like the way Karla said, like, man, she says, I don't know who this girl is, but like, what, that powerful, like, I didn't even see that at that time. I just came out, like, so see her seeing that inside of me. Like, you got to surround yourself with people like that get to see your potential before you even see it, that can see where you're going to go before you may even believe it yet, right? So I just want to thank you for being on with me today and allowing me to share my story. I hope you got something from it. I hope you're inspired by it, and you decide to join us in our movement of impacting other people and changing your life through that. So back to you, Karla.
Okay. Oh, so whoops, that wrong one. So awesome. Thank you so much. So listen, before we get off the call, I have 2 questions for you. One of them is, I know that first of all, thank you for being so vulnerable. I know that there's so many people on this call that maybe just like you have had a tough upbringing, and maybe in themselves, ¿me permites un segundo? In themselves are doubting, like, can I really do this? Like, especially I think sometimes when you're not around success, you don't even know if that's even possible, right? So if someone's on here right now and they're just kind of like, man, I would love to change my life, I want to do this, but they're afraid or they're scared, what advice would you give them?
Go in. Like, you're not going to learn more about yourself and what you're capable of until you just go, you take the leap. And let me tell you something, because a lot of times people think, I need to have it mapped out. I need to know exactly step by step. If I do this, what's going to happen? I don't know if I can do it, but you're not going to know until you actually start to do it. And guess what? Like, success is basically someone failing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's how, because every time that you fail, it's not really a failure, right? It's like a trip, and you just know not to go over that rock. So then you get back up. That's all it is. But you won't know what you're truly capable of until you dive and go all in. And here's the thing, commit. Like, commit to giving it your all for a year, to going to the training, to be around those people, because then you'll begin to, first off, your vision's going to expand of what's possible for you. And then number two, if you're really committed, it's not like, oh, I can do this, I can't do this, oh, I can't, I don't know. If you're wavering like that and you're thinking, oh, maybe you can't, and then today, I don't know, then automatically what's going to happen, your mind just goes, oh, I just can't. So you're never going to actually step into it. But if you say, I'm committed for 1 year, giving it my all, every day, you don't have to wake up trying to make a decision. Am I going to do this? Am I not? Am I going to fail? I'm going to not. Doesn't matter. I'm going to commit and be all in for 1 year, and I'm going to see what I'm capable of. And then at 1 year, I can reevaluate and say, okay, here's how much I grew as a person, which you're going to be surprised, and you're going to a whole new one. Like, it's not a whole new woman. It's a woman that's always been there that just hasn't evolved yet. Right. So, but 1 year, you're going to see growth in yourself. I guarantee you're going to make some income, right? And you're going to see like who you are now stepping into. But you got to go all in. Quit wavering. Quit wondering. You won't know until you make the decision and commit.
I love that. Okay. So absolutely. And I love that. I never heard of it like that, which is so true, because when you commit, then that way you're not wondering, should I do it? Should I not do it? You're like, no, like, this is it. I'm going to do this for a year and then evaluate, right, a year later. So I'll tell you a really quick story. If you guys are watching this on Facebook, which all of you guys are, if you keep scrolling down, the third call from the bottom up is a girl named Julie. And that's exactly what happened with her. She was a stay-at-home mom, 3 boys, stay at home, right? But like, you're never busy. She was never home. She was a part of PTA. Anyway, long story short, she told her husband, give me 1 year. And she went all in for a year, all in. And she was able to reach the top 6% of the company, making about $3,000 part-time around her 3 boys and all the school, because she had that attitude of like, I'm going to give it my all for 1 year. And I think it helped that her husband was like, okay. So it was like a little like, I'm going to show him, right? But more than that, she fell in love with impacting she's a person that loves to help others. And she was like, I never knew that you can make so much income helping other people. And then now what's beautiful about this is now her husband, who wasn't very supportive, now is super supportive. He was able to quit his job, get a different job with a lower pay, but something he's passionate about. So 1 year, you guys, can really dramatically change your life. So I have one last question to end the call. And that is that there's so many beautiful things about this opportunity, so many beautiful things about this business. If you could look back, besides, and I don't care what anybody says, money is important because you need to pay your bills, you need to eat. Like, you can't go to your boss, your landlord, and be like, here's my necklace. He's going to be like, no, you need to pay your rent, right? What has been, besides the money, what has been some of the best things that this opportunity has done for you?
I would have to say, it's, to kind of put it all in one, it's really allowed me to become the woman that I never knew was deep down inside of me. And this woman now gets to be such an incredible mom. I get to be such an incredible leader. Like, I get to be, I have a relationship with my mom. Like, that would have never have happened for me, having a relationship with my mom. As I said, it's not the best, but she messaged me today. She's coming over to see my daughter and bringing my niece, who I don't talk to, her parents, but it's created relationships, getting back together. Why? Because I have grown as a human being, as a woman, and learning things and understanding things, that people are where they are, and it's okay. And I get to love them from that space. But I wouldn't have that type of growth or knowledge, because the people I was hanging around with before, all we did was drink, talk shit about all of our relationships, hate on our men, gossiped. And that's it. That's all I was around. And those same people that I used to hang out with before, living the exact same lives. Nothing has changed for them. But me, I have grown, I have read books, so it's really like, this opportunity is giving me like this whole new perspective on life and relationships. I feel like my mind went from being like this little small to like this, right? Just knowing so much. And, they say, and Karla had mentioned, like, besides money, because money is, people like to say money's not everything, but it gives you options, right? Allows you to have choices and stuff. But through you becoming a better person, a better leader, all the things, you get to increase your income that way. But you'll never get that unless you're in that environment, right? So to me, that has been it's the woman I have become today. Like I look back and I'm like, man, if you see me now and you saw me 7 years ago, two different women. I probably would have been drunk right now at the pool, maybe doing some lines. I don't know. So, but that's what it is. So thank you.
Thank you for your transparency. And, you know, I know that there might be a lot of people on here that can relate to your story, right? And I love what you said. So many times we use alcohol or drugs or whatever to hide the pain. So, you know, if you know anybody who could benefit from this story, definitely share this link with them. But for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome to our Boss Evolution. We have these calls every Wednesday for two reasons. Number one, if you're already part of our community, you're already part of our business, it's so great to hear from other women that, you know, that you can probably relate to and say, man, if she can do it, so can I, and not give up on yourself. The other day, somebody said something so powerful. They said, this business will never fail you. The only way you can fail is if you fail, if you stop, if you quit, right? And I think that's so true, or not put effort, right? So number one, that's one of the reasons. And then for those of you guys who are not yet part of our community, not yet part of our business, but you are looking for a way to make extra income around what you're already doing, you know, maybe it's called lifestyle money. Maybe it's that extra income to take your kids out. Somebody just came today and dropped off some tickets to the circus, you know, and a lady was here, was like, I have 5 kids. And I thought about it. I'm like, man, you know, an extra $200 a month could mean that she doesn't have to now choose whether or not she can take her kids to the circus, right? So it's called lifestyle money. But maybe you're like us, that you're like, well, I love making an impact. I want to also impact my own personal life. And you really want to know how to build a huge empire and a business that can last generations. Also, we can show you how to do that. You know, so get together with the person that invited you to this call and let them know, like, hey, you know what? Like, I want to know how you do this, and then tell them your goals. And according to your goals, they'll put together a plan. So thank you so much, babe, for everything. We really appreciate your honesty, your transparency. I know you touched me. You gave me some ideas. I'm like, oh, I never thought about it that way. So thank you so much. We love you so much. And with that said, you guys, we will see you guys next week. Same call, same link. Bye-bye.
Everybody, thank you.